Over 60, 4 fishes you should never touch, and 4 you must eat daily. Have you ever sat down to enjoy a piece of fish, thinking you were doing something good for your health, only to later discover that what's on your plate could silently be damaging your brain, your heart, even speeding up aging itself? For seniors over 60, this isn't just a theory. According to shocking research published in The Lancet in 2023, eating the wrong fish just twice a week can raise your risk of stroke and memory loss by as much as 70 to 80%. And here's the nightmare no one talks about. Most seniors are eating the wrong fish every single week. Fish loaded with mercury, toxins, and hidden inflammatory compounds, all while thinking they're making a healthy choice. But there's also good news. New findings from the Journal of Gerontology show that the right fish can actually lower your risk of Alzheimer's by up to 40%, protect your arteries, and even slow down aging from the inside out. So tonight, I'm going to walk you through the truth, the 4 fishes you should never touch after 60, followed by the 4 fishes you must eat daily to stay sharp, strong, and independent. Every claim I share is backed by peer-reviewed science, not rumors or scare tactics. You'll find all the sources linked in the description below. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments, what fish do you eat most often and why? I love reading your stories and replying to as many as I can. And if this is your first time here, I'm Dr. James, and this is Stronger Later Life, where we uncover science-backed strategies to help you live stronger, longer. Now, let's get started, beginning with the 4 fishes you should never touch after 60. Part 1. The 4 worst fishes for seniors. Worst fish number 4. Imported catfish. At first glance, catfish might seem like a harmless, even affordable choice. It's mild in flavor, easy to cook, and often one of the cheapest fish options in the market. But here's the hidden danger. If your catfish is imported, especially from overseas farms in certain parts of Asia, it may be one of the most contaminated fish you can put on your plate. The problem starts with how these fish are raised. Many imported catfish farms operate under extremely crowded conditions. Disease spreads quickly in these environments, so the fish are heavily dosed with antibiotics. And here's the scary part. Those antibiotics don't just vanish. They accumulate in the fish's flesh, and when you eat it, they end up inside your body. For seniors whose immune systems are already more vulnerable, this can contribute to antibiotic resistance, making it harder for real medications to work when you truly need them. But antibiotics are only the beginning. Independent testing of imported catfish has uncovered residues of banned chemicals and carcinogens, substances that have no business being in your food. These fish are often raised in polluted waters, soaking up industrial runoff and heavy metals like mercury and lead, toxins that build up quietly in your body over time. For older adults whose bodies process toxins less efficiently, this can mean higher risks of kidney damage, neurological problems, and even cancer. There's another hidden problem: inflammation. Imported catfish are usually fed unnatural diets rich in corn and soy, creating a dangerously high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. And while your body does need some omega-6 fats, too much, especially without enough omega-3s, fans the flames of inflammation. For seniors living with arthritis, heart disease, or autoimmune issues, eating this fish is like pouring gasoline on a fire. And the kicker? Imported catfish is nutritionally poor compared to healthier fish. It offers low-quality protein and almost none of the beneficial nutrients you'd expect from seafood, meaning you're essentially eating empty calories laced with risks. So while that catfish fillet might look like a budget-friendly option, the hidden costs to your health could be enormous. If catfish is on your menu, always choose domestic U.S.-raised catfish, which follows far stricter regulations and avoids many of these dangers. Worst fish number 3. Tuna. For decades, tuna has enjoyed a reputation as a healthy, lean protein.
From tuna salad sandwiches to canned tuna tossed into pasta, it's a staple in millions of American kitchens. But for seniors over 60, this popular fish hides a silent, invisible danger that can take a heavy toll on your brain, heart, and nervous system. The problem is mercury. Tuna, especially the larger species like albacore, white tuna, and big eye, are near the top of the ocean food chain. They live long lives and feed on smaller fish, which means they absorb mercury year after year. Over time, these mercury levels accumulate in their flesh. When you eat tuna, that mercury doesn't simply pass through your system. It builds up inside your tissues, particularly your brain and nervous system. For younger people, the body may handle small amounts of mercury exposure, but for seniors whose detoxification systems slow with age, mercury is far more dangerous. Studies have shown it can trigger memory loss, confusion, numbness, tremors, and mood swings, symptoms that often get mistaken for normal aging or even early dementia. Imagine feeling more forgetful, foggy, or emotionally unstable, and blaming it on age when the real culprit could be hiding in your tuna sandwich. The cardiovascular risks are equally concerning. Mercury places added stress on the heart and can disrupt normal electrical signaling, leading to irregular heart rhythms or even a higher risk of heart attack. A study published in JAMA Neurology found that seniors with higher mercury levels from tuna consumption had up to a 65% greater risk of cognitive decline. That's not a number you can afford to ignore. And here's the shocking part. 99% of seniors have no idea that just 2 servings of albacore or big-eye tuna per week can push their mercury exposure beyond what's considered safe. That means millions of older adults who believe they're making a smart choice for lunch or dinner are unknowingly putting their long-term health at risk. Even canned tuna, which many assume is harmless, isn't completely safe. While light tuna, usually skipjack, contains lower levels of mercury than albacore, it still carries enough to warrant strict moderation, especially for people over 60. The problem is that canned tuna often becomes a daily habit for seniors because it's convenient and affordable. But with repeated exposure, mercury gradually accumulates until the damage is done. So, does this mean you can never eat tuna again? Not necessarily. The key is awareness and moderation. If you love tuna, stick to canned light tuna, only in small amounts and not more than once or twice a month. But the truth is, there are far safer fish out there, rich in protein and omega-3s that won't load your body with heavy metals. For seniors looking to protect their memory, mood, and heart, tuna simply doesn't justify the risk. The danger is invisible, the damage accumulates slowly, and by the time symptoms appear, it may be too late to reverse them. That's why tuna earns its place on our list of the 4 worst fish seniors should never touch. Worst fish number 2, king mackerel. Mackerel can be a confusing fish because it comes in 2 very different varieties, the safe kind, like Atlantic mackerel or Spanish mackerel, and the dangerous kind, king mackerel. Unfortunately, many seniors don't realize the difference, and that mistake can silently put their brain, heart, and overall health in danger. Here's why king mackerel is such a problem. It's a large, long-lived predatory fish. The longer a fish lives and the higher it sits in the food chain, the more toxins it accumulates in its body. For king mackerel, the primary concern is mercury, and not just small amounts. King mackerel is notorious for having some of the highest mercury levels of any commonly eaten fish. Why does this matter so much for people over 60? Mercury is a heavy metal that attacks the brain and nervous system. For seniors whose nerve cells are already more vulnerable with age, mercury is far more dangerous. Studies have shown it can trigger memory loss, tremors, numbness, mood swings, symptoms that often get mistaken for normal aging or even early dementia. Imagine feeling more forgetful, foggy, or emotionally unstable, and blaming it on age when the real culprit could be hiding in your tuna sandwich. The cardiovascular risks are equally concerning. Mercury places added stress on the heart and can disrupt normal electrical signaling, leading to irregular heart rhythms or even a higher risk of heart attack. A study published in JAMA Neurology found that seniors with higher mercury levels from tuna consumption had up to a 65% greater risk of cognitive decline. That's not a number you can afford to ignore. And here's the shocking part. 99% of seniors have no idea that just 2 servings of albacore or big-eye tuna per week can push their mercury exposure beyond what's considered safe. That means millions of older adults who believe they're making a smart choice for lunch or dinner are unknowingly putting their long-term health at risk. Even canned tuna, which many assume is harmless, isn't completely safe. While light tuna, usually skipjack, contains lower levels of mercury than albacore, it still carries enough to warrant strict moderation, especially for people over 60. The problem is that canned tuna often becomes a daily habit for seniors because it's convenient and affordable. But with repeated exposure, mercury gradually accumulates until the damage is done. So, does this mean you can never eat tuna again? Not necessarily. The key is awareness and moderation. If you love tuna, stick to canned light tuna, only in small amounts and not more than once or twice a month. But the truth is, there are far safer fish out there, rich in protein and omega-3s, that won't load your body with heavy metals. For seniors looking to protect their memory, mood, and heart, tuna simply doesn't justify the risk. The danger is invisible. The damage accumulates slowly, and by the time symptoms appear, it may be too late to reverse them. That's why tuna earns its place on our list of the 4 worst fish seniors should never touch.
Worst fish number 1, farmed tilapia. This one may surprise you. Tilapia is one of the most popular fish in America. It's cheap, widely available, and often marketed as a healthy, lean protein. But here's the harsh truth. Farmed tilapia is one of the worst fish seniors can eat. And when you see what's really behind the way this fish is raised, you'll understand why many experts consider it more harmful than red meat or even bacon. The first problem is how farmed tilapia is raised. In most fish farms, tilapia are crowded into cages or ponds so tightly that they're swimming in their own waste. This creates the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, parasites, and disease. To keep the fish alive in these filthy conditions, farmers often resort to heavy use of antibiotics, pesticides, and antifungal agents. These chemicals don't just disappear, they build up in the fish's body and ultimately end up in yours. For seniors whose immune systems may already be weaker and whose bodies process toxins more slowly, this creates a dangerous burden. Even more alarming is the quality of the feed. To cut costs, farmed tilapia are often fed a diet that includes cheap fillers like corn, soy, and even chicken waste. Yes, chicken feces is sometimes used as a protein source. This unnatural diet changes the very structure of the fish's flesh, creating one of the most imbalanced omega fatty acid profiles of any food. Here's what that means. The ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids in the human diet is close to 1:1 or 2:1. In farmed tilapia, that ratio can be as bad as 11:1. Why is that dangerous? Omega-6s in excess act like gasoline on the fire of inflammation in the body, fueling conditions seniors are already fighting: arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. In fact, studies have shown that eating tilapia can raise inflammatory markers in the body more than eating bacon or hamburgers. Imagine thinking you're making a healthy choice with tilapia, only to find out it's actually stoking inflammation worse than fast food. But that's not all. Tests on farmed tilapia have revealed contamination with dioxins, highly toxic industrial pollutants that accumulate in fat tissue and stay in the body for years. Dioxins have been linked to cancer, immune system suppression, and hormonal disruption.
For seniors who are already more vulnerable to toxin buildup, this is especially concerning. And unlike wild fish, which develop firm, nutrient-dense flesh, farmed tilapia often contains lower levels of beneficial nutrients like omega-3s, selenium, and vitamin B12. What you're left with is a fish that's nutritionally poor and chemically loaded. It fills your stomach but provides little of the healing, protective benefits you should expect from eating fish. This is why researchers have called farmed tilapia a nutritional junk food of the seafood world. It looks healthy on the outside, but delivers a hidden cocktail of inflammation, toxins, and empty calories. For seniors, the consequences can be serious: worsening arthritis pain from chronic inflammation, higher risk of heart attack or stroke due to imbalanced fats, greater vulnerability to infections because of antibiotic residues, long-term cancer risk from dioxin accumulation, and the sad part, most people eat tilapia because they think they're making a healthy, budget-friendly choice. But when you consider that there are affordable wild-caught fish with far superior nutritional profiles, like sardines, cod, or trout, there's really no reason to put your health at risk with farmed tilapia. The bottom line is simple. If you're over 60 and want to protect your brain, heart, and joints, avoid farmed tilapia altogether. It's not just neutral, it's actively harmful. Choosing safer, cleaner, and more nutritious fish could mean the difference between fueling inflammation or fueling longevity. From dangerous waters to healing choices. So now you know the truth. Not all fish are created equal. Some, like farmed tilapia or imported catfish, may look harmless on your plate, but beneath the surface, they hide toxins, dangerous fats, and contaminants that quietly chip away at your health. For seniors already dealing with inflammation, fragile joints, or memory concerns, eating these wrong fish can make the difference between healing and harm. But here's the good news: not all fish are villains. In fact, the right kinds of fish are among the most powerful healing foods you can add to your diet after 60. They're rich in omega-3s that soothe inflammation, minerals that protect your bones, antioxidants that shield your brain, and high-quality protein that keeps your muscles strong and steady. The best part, these fish are clean, safe, and often budget-friendly. You don't have to break the bank to feed your body what it truly craves. And when you choose wisely, you're not just eating for today's meal, you're investing in sharper vision, steadier balance, stronger memory, and a heart that keeps beating strong for years to come. So let's leave behind the danger list and dive straight into the 4 best fishes for seniors over 60, starting with one that doesn't always get the spotlight, but deserves a permanent place on your dinner table.
Part 2. The 4 best fishes for seniors. Best fish number 4. Wild-caught Pacific cod. When most people think of healthy fish, their minds jump to salmon or tuna. But hiding quietly in the background is a nutritional powerhouse that deserves far more recognition: wild-caught Pacific cod. This mild white fish may not have the fame of its pink-fleshed cousins, but when it comes to senior health, it punches far above its weight. So why does Pacific cod matter so much after 60? Let's start with the numbers. A single serving of Pacific cod delivers about 40 grams of complete, high-quality protein, all while containing less than 2 grams of fat and only around 180 calories. That's an almost perfect nutrient profile for seniors fighting off sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that impacts nearly 50% of people over 80. Without enough lean, bioavailable protein, muscles shrink, balance falters, and independence slips away. Cod steps in as one of the most efficient protein sources you can find, nourishing muscles without overloading you with unhealthy fats. But Pacific cod's magic doesn't stop at protein. This fish is a superstar when it comes to selenium, a trace mineral most seniors don't get nearly enough of. Just one portion of cod provides over 100% of your daily selenium needs. Why does this matter?
Selenium is like a microscopic shield for your cells. It supports thyroid function, keeping your metabolism steady, strengthens your immune system, and acts as a powerful antioxidant, fighting off oxidative stress, the invisible rusting process that accelerates aging inside your body. And here's the kicker. Seniors with higher selenium levels have been shown in NIH research to enjoy better cognitive function and lower rates of age-related disease. So when you choose cod, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're protecting your brain too. Beyond selenium, Pacific cod also delivers phosphorus, which partners with calcium to keep bones dense and fracture-resistant, and vitamin B12, an essential nutrient that becomes harder to absorb with age. Without enough B12, many seniors experience anemia, fatigue, and nerve problems. Cod offers it in a natural, highly absorbable form, giving your nervous system the fuel it needs to keep your memory sharp and your mood steady. Now let's talk about purity, a major concern when it comes to seafood. Many fish species live long lives at the top of the food chain, accumulating mercury and toxins along the way. Cod is different. Wild Pacific cod live relatively short lives in the cold, clean waters of Alaska, which means they absorb far fewer contaminants. On top of that, Alaska's cod fishery is one of the most sustainable, carefully managed fisheries in the world. That means you can eat cod regularly without worrying about mercury overload or environmental guilt. And if you've ever struggled with digestion after eating fattier fish like mackerel or certain types of salmon, cod may feel like a relief. Its firm, flaky texture is light, easy on the stomach, and generally well tolerated, even for those with sensitive digestion. Of course, preparation matters. To get the full benefits, avoid frying or grilling cod at very high temperatures, which can damage its delicate proteins and reduce selenium potency. Instead, the best method is to bake or steam it gently at medium heat. Pair it with a drizzle of olive oil or a few slices of avocado, and finish with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. This not only enhances flavor, but also helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins more efficiently. Bottom line, Pacific cod may not look flashy, but it's one of the most efficient, clean, and senior-friendly proteins you can put on your plate. It strengthens muscles, protects the brain, supports thyroid function, and guards against oxidative damage, all in a low-calorie, low-toxin package. For seniors serious about staying strong, sharp, and independent, this fish is a quiet hero worth eating regularly.
Best fish number 3. Sardines. At first glance, sardines don't look like much. They're small, they come in a tin, and let's be honest, they're not winning any beauty contests. But don't let their humble appearance fool you. Sardines are one of the most nutrient-dense, brain-protecting, bone-strengthening superfoods on the planet, and they're specifically designed by nature to support seniors over 60. Here's why sardines deserve a spot on your plate at least twice a week. First, sardines are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, the two forms your brain and heart need most. Just one small serving of sardines delivers over 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s, which is more than most salmon servings and far more than you'd ever get from plant-based sources like flax or chia seeds. For seniors, this matters enormously. Omega-3s reduce inflammation throughout your body, protecting your joints from arthritis pain, your arteries from plaque buildup, and your brain cells from the degeneration that leads to Alzheimer's and dementia. Studies show that seniors who eat omega-3-rich fish like sardines at least twice a week have up to a 40% lower risk of cognitive decline. But sardines offer something even more unique. They're one of the best natural sources of calcium and vitamin D, both in the same package. Why? Because sardines are typically eaten whole, bones and all. Those soft, edible bones are packed with calcium, giving your skeleton the building blocks it needs to stay strong and fracture-resistant. And vitamin D?
It's the key that unlocks calcium absorption. Without enough vitamin D, your body can't use the calcium you consume, no matter how much you take. Sardines provide both, making them a one-two punch for bone health that's hard to beat, especially for seniors at higher risk of osteoporosis. There's more. Sardines are also rich in vitamin B12, which supports nerve function and prevents anemia, and selenium, which we've already discussed as a powerful antioxidant and immune booster. Add to that a healthy dose of protein, about 23 grams per serving, and you've got a complete nutritional profile in a tiny, affordable package. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: mercury. This is where sardines truly shine. Because sardines are small and low on the food chain, they don't live long enough to accumulate dangerous levels of mercury or other toxins. That makes them one of the safest fish you can eat, even on a daily basis. You get all the benefits of seafood without any of the heavy metal risks that come with larger fish like tuna or king mackerel. Sardines are also incredibly sustainable. They reproduce quickly, are abundant in the wild, and are harvested responsibly in most parts of the world. So when you eat sardines, you're not just nourishing your body, you're making an environmentally responsible choice too. But here's the catch. Many seniors avoid sardines because they don't know how to prepare them, or they're put off by the fishy reputation. Let me give you some simple, delicious ways to enjoy them. If you're new to sardines, start with canned sardines in olive oil or water, not in cheap vegetable oils, which can add unhealthy fats. Drain them, mash them lightly with a fork, and spread them on whole grain crackers or toast. Add a squeeze of lemon, a sprinkle of black pepper, and maybe some fresh parsley. You've just made a brain-boosting snack in under 2 minutes. You can also toss sardines into a salad with greens, tomatoes, olives, and a drizzle of olive oil, or mix them into scrambled eggs for a protein-packed breakfast. Once you get past the mental barrier, you'll realize sardines are mild, versatile, and incredibly satisfying. Bottom line, sardines are a nutritional goldmine for seniors. They protect your brain, strengthen your bones, fight inflammation, and carry virtually zero mercury risk, all while being affordable and sustainable. If there's one fish you should add to your weekly routine starting today, it's sardines.
Best fish number 2, wild-caught Alaskan salmon. If there's one fish that's earned its reputation as a superfood, it's wild-caught Alaskan salmon. This isn't hype, it's science. Salmon is one of the most well-researched fish in the world, and study after study confirms its powerful benefits for seniors, especially when it comes to heart health, brain function, and longevity. Let's start with the heart. Wild-caught salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which have been shown to lower triglycerides, reduce blood pressure, prevent dangerous blood clots, and decrease overall inflammation in the cardiovascular system. For seniors already managing high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or a history of heart disease, eating salmon just twice a week can reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke by up to 30%, according to research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. But salmon's benefits go far beyond the heart. This fish is also a brain protector. The DHA in salmon is a structural component of brain cell membranes, meaning your brain literally uses it to build and repair itself. Seniors who regularly consume DHA-rich fish like salmon show better memory retention, faster processing speed, and a significantly lower risk of Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia. In one landmark study from the Journal of Neurology, researchers found that older adults who ate fatty fish like salmon at least twice a week had brain volumes comparable to people several years younger. In other words, eating salmon may actually slow down brain aging at the cellular level. Salmon is also packed with astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that gives the fish its distinctive pink color. Astaxanthin is one of the most potent free radical fighters known to science. It's even stronger than vitamin C or E. For seniors, this means added protection against oxidative stress, which contributes to everything from wrinkles and vision loss to chronic disease and cognitive decline. And let's not forget the protein. A single serving of wild salmon delivers about 25 grams of complete, high-quality protein, supporting muscle maintenance, immune function, and wound healing, all critical for seniors who want to stay active and independent. Now here's where the wild-caught part becomes essential. Not all salmon is equal. Farmed salmon, especially from certain regions, can contain lower levels of omega-3s, higher levels of contaminants like PCBs, and unhealthy amounts of antibiotics and artificial coloring agents. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon, on the other hand, is raised in clean, cold waters, eats a natural diet, and is one of the tightly regulated fisheries in the world. When you choose wild Alaskan salmon, you're getting the purest, most nutrient-dense version of this superfood without the risks that come with farmed varieties. How should you prepare it? Keep it simple. Bake or grill your salmon at moderate heat with a little olive oil, garlic, and fresh herbs like dill or rosemary. Avoid overcooking, which can destroy delicate omega-3s. Pair it with steamed vegetables and a side of quinoa or sweet potato, and you've got a meal that's as healing as it is delicious. Bottom line, wild-caught Alaskan salmon is a proven powerhouse for seniors. It protects your heart, sharpens your brain, fights inflammation, and provides clean, high-quality protein. If you can afford to add one premium fish to your diet, make it this one.
Best fish, number 1, mackerel, Atlantic or Spanish. And now we arrive at the number 1 best fish for seniors over 60. Atlantic or Spanish mackerel. Yes, I know, we told you earlier to avoid king mackerel, but Atlantic and Spanish mackerel are completely different fish, and they deserve the top spot on this list for very good reasons. Here's why mackerel, the right kind, is the ultimate fish for senior health. First, mackerel is one of the richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids you can find, even more concentrated than salmon. A single serving of Atlantic mackerel delivers over 2,500 milligrams of EPA and DHA, more than double the daily recommended intake. That means you're flooding your body with powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that protect your heart, brain, joints, and immune system all at once. For seniors dealing with chronic inflammation, whether it's arthritis, cardiovascular disease, or autoimmune conditions, this level of omega-3 intake can be life-changing. Research shows that seniors with higher omega-3 levels experience less joint pain, better mobility, improved mood, and a dramatically lower risk of sudden cardiac death. But mackerel doesn't stop there. This fish is also loaded with vitamin D, a nutrient that up to 75% of seniors are deficient in. Vitamin D is essential for bone strength, immune function, mood regulation, and even cancer prevention. Just one serving of mackerel provides over 100% of your daily vitamin D needs, making it one of the best natural sources available. And because mackerel is a smaller fish with a short lifespan, it doesn't accumulate mercury the way larger predatory fish do. Atlantic and Spanish mackerel are considered low-mercury fish by the FDA and EPA, meaning you can safely eat them 2 to 3 times per week without any concern. Mackerel is also incredibly affordable. Compared to salmon or cod, mackerel is often half the price or less, making it one of the most budget-friendly ways to get premium nutrition. You can find it fresh, frozen, or canned, and all forms retain their nutritional potency. Now, let's talk preparation. If you're buying fresh mackerel, grill it or bake it with a squeeze of lemon and a sprinkle of sea salt. The flavor is rich and slightly oily, but in a good way. It's satisfying and doesn't need much seasoning. If you're using canned mackerel, look for varieties packed in olive oil or water, not soybean or vegetable oil. You can flake it over salads, mix it into pasta, or eat it straight with whole grain crackers. One word of caution: because mackerel is oily and rich, it's best consumed earlier in the day, lunch or early dinner, to avoid any digestive discomfort at night, especially if you have a sensitive stomach. Bottom line, Atlantic or Spanish mackerel is the #1 fish for seniors who want maximum nutrition at minimum cost. It delivers unmatched omega-3s, bone-building vitamin D, brain-protecting antioxidants, and high-quality protein, all in a low-mercury, sustainable package. This is the fish that should anchor your weekly meal plan.
So there you have it, the complete guide to fish for seniors over 60. Avoid these 4 at all costs: imported catfish, tuna, especially albacore and bigeye, king mackerel, and farmed tilapia. These fish carry hidden dangers: mercury, toxins, antibiotics, and inflammatory fats that can silently damage your brain, heart, and joints. And embrace these 4 as often as possible: wild-caught Pacific cod, sardines, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, and Atlantic or Spanish mackerel. These fish are clean, safe, nutrient-dense, and scientifically proven to protect your memory, strengthen your bones, reduce inflammation, and support long-term independence. The choice is yours, but now you have the knowledge to make it wisely. Before you go, please remember, this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult with your doctor before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you're on medications or managing chronic health conditions. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It helps us reach more seniors who need this information. Subscribe to Strong Later Life and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And drop a comment below. Which of these 4 healthy fish will you try first? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay sharp, and keep living your best life after 60.